So hello one and all. Welcome to the track 2 of India Analytics and Big Data Summit 2015 day 2. So you're at the leadership in analytics track. As it was communicated to you that there has been a change in the schedule in the agenda. So the first session has got swapped with the third session in this track. So now I'll be calling Shrujana HM from HP to take on this session. Shrujana, please.
Torture data enough and it will confess. And if the data is big enough, it will confess accurately. Good morning, everyone. I'm Shrujana. I work as a part of Big Data Center of Excellence at Hewlett Packard. And today I'm here to share with you a few of my insights on usage of big data analytics to foster sustainability. From Twitter feeds to photo streams to that of RFID pings, big data universe is expanding rapidly, providing unprecedented opportunities to understand the present and to look into the future. Tapping its potential while avoiding the pitfalls doesn't take magic, but it takes a roadmap. We are seeing a data deluge in the form of huge volume, velocity, and variety of data being generated all across the globe. The key lies in using this data to our advantage and derive meaningful insights out of it, and so as to progress in a sustainable manner. Indeed, the quest for sustainability has already started transforming the competitive landscapes and are forcing companies to think differently about their products, processes, technologies, and business models. Thus, it has been observed that the key to success, especially in the times of economic crisis, is innovation through sustainable use of technology. And to be innovative, one needs to apply analytics on the quantum of data that's available all around in the form of big data. That will help us ask questions and question the implicit practices that are already existing behind the current scenarios. Somebody once asked, can we create a carriage that can pull goods and luggages without horses driving it? Can it fly like birds? Can we die like whales? So all of these questions were asked by someone and businesses, and the questions asked actually changed the status quo. And this is what is required in the current times as well, because this is exactly what has led to today's information and data revolution. And in today's scenario, the need of the hour is to ask questions like, can we use big data analytics to create waterless detergents? Can we use big data analytics to breed rice that can grow without water? Can we use big data analytics to use or create a biodegradable packaging that can seed earth with different plants and trees? And yes, of course, big data analytics has the potential to offer all of these solutions if used in a sustainable manner. But the key is, it's important that the businesses use technology and analytics in a sustainable and a sensitive manner so as to leverage all three aspects of sustainability, primarily the environmental sustainability, the social sustainability, and the economic sustainability. In this talk today, I shall touch upon all the three different aspects of sustainability. And I'll start with environmental sustainability. Environmental sustainability has not seen many of the applications of big data analytics. That's very heartening to say. But the one that I'm going to showcase today is one of the rarest of rare and a very high impact big data analytical applications in the field of environmental science. HP has used the best of its big data technology to help scientists of Conservation International save biodiversity in the tropical forest. And this particular video shows more about the motivation behind this initiative.
Everything is connected in the world. Nature doesn't live in countries, nature lives as a unity. If we want to preserve this world and we want to do it in a smart way, we need to be able to assess how we're doing and react quickly.
You and I go to the doctor and we get our vital signs checked, so our temperature, our blood pressure. Well, we need those sorts of vital signs for the planet. And that's what we're really trying to do at Conservation International with TEAM and with other programs. What we do is put camera traps, so it's kind of like candid camera. We put these traps all through the forest, and it allows us to find out what's there and what the animals are doing.
Really, in environmental sciences, we have not harnessed the power of big data. So we need a system that can seamlessly integrate this into information that is useful. That's where our partnership with HP became really important.
One of the challenges about big data is that it really does require an end-to-end solution. It takes hardware, it takes software, and it takes professional services. And it's our enterprise services organization that's bringing all those pieces together and offering the comprehensive solution.
This is amazing. You just collected the data and you're looking at the results hundreds of miles away in a website.
We're just in the early stages of a partnership, but this is something that HP cares tremendously about. This is something that really gets everybody at Hewlett-Packard pumped up to be working with Conservation International.
Now we're entering into an enlightened stage in environmental science, and it's time that we have the power of big data and the power of monitoring to help us actually make a better world.
Some of us may be wondering, how does it impact us as business entities as well as individuals? Yes, it impacts you, it impacts me, it impacts everybody in this hall and beyond, because tropical forests are the home for 30 million species. And nearly half of all the planets, animals, and Earth live in this forest. And they generate 40% of the planet's oxygen. But these precious resources are disappearing at an alarming rate of 18,000 square miles per year, as per the United Nations Environmental Program. From polar bears in the Arctic to marine turtles in the coast of Africa, our planet's biodiversity is at risk. And the situation is extremely alarming, and it may not be surprising to see the sequel of The Lost World featuring lions and tigers instead of dinosaurs. As per the International Union for Conservation of Nature, around 16,306 species are on the verge of extinction. And all this impacts us to do the business in a sustainable manner in terms of catastrophics or in terms of different regulations that businesses have to abide by, as in the form of environmental rules and regulations. Since the situation is so alarming, and since around 500 years, human activity has forced around 800 species into extinction, and these tropical forests that cover 23% of the Earth's surface are depleting at an alarming rate. HP collaborated with Conservation International to provide an analytical solution in the form of early warning system for the endangered species and wildlife picture index analytical system. So prior to HP's collaboration with Conservation International, the scientists of Conservation International were collecting the data manually, but it was excruciating. Thus, it became imperative for the scientists to use some sort of a technology to collect the data so that they can save on time, and also they could save on the energy and do the analysis accurately. Thus, HP used the best of its technology in the form of new style of IT, which consists of the interrelated trends of mobility, security, enterprise services, and big data technology that is portrayed here, which is a convergence of different platforms, that's Hadoop, Autonomy, Vertica, enterprise security, and n number of applications were developed about that. Since the data that was generated was humongous, we had to deploy some elite paths using climatic sensors so that the data that was generated automatically got transferred into the high power system ProLiant servers. And further to that, customized wildlife picture index analytical system was built by applying analytics using R programming on Vertica and using the autonomous intelligent data operating layer. Further simulations were carried out using the Monte Carlo's Markov-Chain simulations, and Bayesian models were applied to determine the species that were endangered. This helped understand the different covariates that were actually attributing to this to be considering the species as endangered species, such as climate change, climate variations, humidity, solar radiations, as well as human presence absence data and forest edge. Because of all of these applications, HP in collaboration with Conservation International was able to perform around 250,000 simulations per species, and that to 9 times faster than that of the conventional system, which in itself was a humongous achievement. And it was able to process around 1.4 million wildlife photos just in a span of, or a time frame of 1 year. Because of such an application, HP was able to identify 60 species as endangered species out of 275 species that were tracked, which would not have been a possibility otherwise. Now, such a kind of an environmental application of big data analytics may not have a tangible financial benefits on the bottom line of the business. But of course, it's important and critical for the business because it ensures the very sustenance of our life on this planet. Now let's shift gears a bit and move to yet another application of big data analytics, but in the field of social sciences. Historically, marketers have been selling their products and services using a 5 recognized processes of sales cycle, starting from opportunity identification to opportunity quantification, to proposing the products and services, to selling them, and then engaging in post-sales cycle. In the similar fashion, even the consumers have a different recognized set categorized purchase behavior. It starts from need recognition and goes on till post-purchase behavior. But of late, this era has seen a paradigm shift in the consumer purchase behavior. So today's consumers, there are many studies that have shown that today's consumers make their 70% of their purchase decision before they interact with the sales representatives. So the brand marketers are inquisitive in understanding how are these consumers making their purchase decision if they are not interacting with the sales representatives. Consumers in this era are surfing the corporate websites. They are talking to their friends over the social media. They are looking at and reading the reviews provided in different blogs about the items they intend to purchase, and they are making the decisions accordingly. And they are qualifying the vendors instead of Salesforce qualifying them. This particular video shows the influence of social media in customer buying behavior. media has emerged as an important marketing channel for the brand marketers to compete. And we are seeing the brand marketers are competing in the space of social media to influence their customers. Customers express their opinion, their intention to buy, their frustration and recommendations regarding certain brands in the social media. Since the buzz generated is an uncontrolled liberal opinion of everybody present in the web, it becomes imperative for the brand marketers to kind of measure that, because that creates both positive and negative influence on the customer's buying behavior, on the brands and also on the products, and this ultimately leads to the brand image or the brand perceptions. Thus, it's important for the brand marketers to measure who are these people who are actually speaking about their products and how are they influencing other customers in the social media space to either buy their products or not to go for their products or services. So there are a lot of studies that have showed that the people that who have the presence, who have the active presence in the social media space, believe the recommendations from their friends to around 90%. And there are studies which says that around 70% of the people who have the presence in social media believe the customer's opinion from other customers, believe the opinions from other customers who have actually tried the products or intend to try the products of the similar company, of the similar brand from the same company. Thus, based on different opinions that are generated in the web, other customers who have the intention to buy are getting influenced. So it becomes imperative for the companies to identify who are these thought leaders in the social media space who are actually influencing the purchase decision of rest of the customers. Timely and accurate identification of the domain-specific influencers helps brand marketers to target these influencers or the thought leaders and thereby portray their brand positively in front of the prospective customers and promote their sales. This is a very important indirect marketing tactic that's been used in the social media space. But the bigger question is, how do we identify